Hey guys, welcome to Lobos Entertainment. My name is Ricardo, and today I want to talk about why I think the N55 is a good choice, or sometimes a better choice than a B58. The reason why I say an N55 could be a good choice, you can get an N55 F Series, or can get an F32 or F30 for anywhere from 10,000 to maybe, I don't know, 16, roughly, right? But the B58 is anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000, and technically, both cars roughly make the same amount of power until you start doing 85, or if you have the Gen 2. But if you have the Gen 1, like a 2016, 17, they make roughly the same power. N55 stage 2 or stage 1, it's gonna get you around close to 400. If you put E30, we're talking about probably 410, 420. B58 Gen 1, roughly the same. It's gonna get you to 400 without the 85, I believe. But it's not crazy amount of power to be like, oh my god, I need to go to get the B58. Gen 2 though is a different story. The Gen 2 B58, they make a lot more power. So, but it costs a lot more money. So it all depends on how much money you have, because in my opinion, it's easier to get into an N55, enjoy N55, and it all depends on the application you're trying to do. If this is a street-driven car, a street daily, then I think an N55 would be a better choice. It's cheaper, and you basically get the same technology. Granted, the transmission for a B58 and the engine, they're a bit upgraded, but I don't think if you're gonna have the car just for a street-driven car, and you're not racing, or you're not doing a drag racing, or you're not doing autocross, I think N55 is a good choice. If you're going to do drag racing, hands down, B58. Don't even waste your time on an N55, because nowadays every car from the factory is fast for some reason. So you get in an N55, for you to compete against a B58, you're gonna spend money that doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, because you would have to put rods in the car, maybe pistons, just to make serious power like the B58. Like the B58 stock engine, I believe it can go up to like 700, no problem, especially when you swap it out for a pure turbo. So it's like, B58 all day for a drag car. N55, we put a pure turbo on there, roughly 600, 650. So they have different versions of the N55. So you have the N55 Gen 1. Actually, you have three versions. You have Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. Gen 1 came into the E92 2011, and it used the same high pressure fuel pump as the N54. That's the Gen 1 N55. The Gen 2 N55 that came into the 2013. I think it was 2012, 2013. It came with a better, upgraded high pressure fuel pump, and it comes with a PWG. That's the wastegate on the turbo. Gen 1 and Gen 2 carry the same wastegate PWG, and 2014, that's the Gen 3, came with the EWG, the electronic wastegate. And that version, Gen 3, I believe is the closest N55 to the B58 Gen 1. Because N55 Gen 3, without doing internals, roughly you can get it to 650 wheel horsepower and be safe. Gen 2, we're talking about 5 something. If you push it to 600, you can push it to 6, but you're on the limit. The Gen 1, I believe, is 750 or 700 is the limit for that. And the Gen 3 for the N55 is 650. So if I was going to recommend you buying an N55, I would buy a 2014 and up. Talking about the electronic wastegate version, because those cars, they're very reliable. They fix all the problems from Gen 1 and Gen 2. So the Gen 3 N55, I think, is a really, really good option over the B58. Depends on your budget. So why I say it's better as far as budget wise, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what car you have. It could be Honda, Toyota, especially German cars, BMWs, Mercedes, Audis. If you see a car, say you're gonna buy a car, right? You're going to shop to buy a car, and you find a B58 for $20,000, or you buy an N55 for $10,000. My recommendation, if that car is below 60,000, then you don't have to worry about maintenance so much. Ideally, you want a car 30,000 miles, 30, 40. Once you start touching 60, these maintenance parts need to change. If you see a car above 60,000, if you're gonna spend $10,000 on a BMW or a German car, make sure you have at least $5,000 for maintenance. At least $5,000, because I don't care what it is. If you buy a car that's high mileage and you don't have money to put into your car, you're gonna have a bad experience with a BMW or any German cars, and domestic cars as well. And same goes for JDM cars. You're gonna have a bad experience. You can get away with JDM cars because 9 times out of 10, those cars are not made from the factory to make power. Unless you're talking about a Type R, or you're talking about a fast version of a JDM car, then yes, you still have to have a good amount of money put to the side for maintenance. So that's the problem a lot of people get into when they buy BMWs, and they expect when they spend $10,000 on a BMW that's originally cost $40,000 with high mileage, they think they're going to get the same experience as a brand new car. It doesn't work like that. So you have to have at least, and I said if you're going to buy a BMW, you want to have at least $5,000 put to the side, in my opinion. So like a B58, if you buy a B58 for $20,000 and that car is over 60,000 miles, have at least $3,000 to $5,000 put to the side to maintain that car. And you want to do that up front before you even try dealing that car, because the high pressure, the water pump gonna go on you, timing chain gonna need to change, thermostat, water pump thermostat, the rod bearings. Once you get to like 70,000 miles, you want to check those rod bearings, because the previous owner who had the car, if that person wasn't doing maintenance properly, that rod bearing's probably on its last leg. So these are the things you got to get done for a BMW, especially all those hoses, the cooling hoses. Sometimes they need to change. A lot of the sealants need to change. So that's why I'm saying it's better off buying an N55, because if you buy an N55 for $9,000 to $10,000, that $5,000 you have saving, you can put towards the N55, and then you get yourself a really good mint. You get yourself a reliable car to drive for a while. Granted, $5,000, we're just talking about engine maintenance. We're not talking about control arms. We're even talking about bushings. We're not talking about suspension, brakes, rotors. All this stuff also you have to change. You have to keep in mind when you buy a BMW or any German cars in general, or any car. These are the things you have to change out eventually. But what's more important is the engine. So that's why I'm saying an N55, in my opinion, is a better option. A B58, you spend $20,000, you still have to dump $5,000, maybe more than that, because it depends on the person who had the car before you. You have to dump all this money into the car. And for what? For if you're gonna be a daily driver, you're not gonna race the car. Why spend all that money? Because it's the same chassis. You're gonna get the same technology, the same steering wheel, same everything. So why? That's what I'm saying. If you do the maintenance, it's just as reliable and, as a B58. So if you're gonna do circuit racing though, if it's an application for the car, the purpose for the car is for you to go to circuit racing, I think an N55 is a better option to get cost-wise. Power for power, honestly, if you're just starting out doing tracking autocross, you shouldn't be worrying about power anyway, because it's going to take you a long period of time to, unless you're born as a genius, you're going to take a long period of time for you to get your skill set to really can take advantage of a 300 horsepower car, a 400 horsepower car, a 600 horsepower car. If you've been racing go-kart for all your life, then yes, you can go to a B58. But again, you might run into the oil starvation, and then you have to do certain upgrades to fix that. I know the B58, they have the oil pan is a bit more upgraded for oil starvation, but I don't know, people don't really test it yet. I know the Supra already have all the technology that so it doesn't so you don't have a oil starvation. The N55, if you want to use the N55 for the track, you have to get the G80, sorry not G80, sorry, the F80 parts. You have to get the F80 oil pump, F80 oil pan. Once you put that on there, it's gonna roughly cost you close to $2,000 for that. But think about it though, you're spending $2,000, right? You do a maintenance on the cars, and you're tracking the car now. You buy the car for $10,000, so you buy a car for 80,000 miles on the car, or 100,000. You get it for like 10 grand, maybe 9,000. You spend $7,000 in the car. We're talking about maintenance, the oil pan upgrade, bushings, brake pads, all that stuff. That's $7,000 in. $17,000 you buy for an N55, and all day it would be on this car. I'm talking about it because that's what I did for this car. I bought this car for 12 grand, and I put in, I did most of the maintenance myself, and I have my buddy came over, Ricky, he came over and did some of the work as well, like the rod bearings, timing chain, water pump, all that stuff he did, and the suspension. So I got a good deal, and I did some of the work myself. So in all, I'm under 17,000 on this car, and this car can run on the track all day, every day. And it's a stage 2 upgraded intercooler, and I'm sure I can keep up with a Gen 1 B58. Maybe not on track racing, but if it's on the circuit racing all day, every day, this car will keep up with a B58. And this car is just as reliable as a B58. Again, it all depends on your pockets and what makes more sense. Anyway, guys, I'll just discuss my two take about the B58 and the N55. Granted, though, if I could do it again, because I have another N55, and I built that engine, put big turbo on there, and honestly, this is right before the B58 started getting popular. If I could do it again, I'd definitely buy a B58. I wouldn't even waste my time. If I'm doing for track racing, I wouldn't even waste my time on N55. Straight up B58 or S58. Any of those engines that's, basically can generate power. And if you want a fast Volkswagen, I know guys, BMW, hear me out. If you want a fast Volkswagen, get yourself the 5-cylinder for the Audi or the S4 engine that came into the B9 S4. They can make good power as well. But as far as BMW, B58, S58, or if it's a street daily or drag circuit racing, N55 Gen 3. That's what I would get. Anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment below. And if you have opinions on what I said about the N55, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts between the N55 Gen 3, not Gen 2 or Gen 1, we're talking about Gen 3 N55 compared to the B58 Gen 1. Alright guys, talk to you guys later.